Hollywood elites are trying to push Katt Williams out. Orlando Brown just revealed that Katt Williams could be getting cloned very soon. And if you look at what Katt himself recently said, everything begins to add up. Katt Williams turned down $50 million and instead revealed who celebrities were actually working for.
Car with Katt. He asked me to get in the car with him in his Rolls Royce, to be exact. And I was like, no, it's her birthday. I gotta go. Who knows what would have happened to me? Was that even Katt? It's the decisions that we make. It's who we choose to let in, bro. Just because somebody wearing that skin, that don't mean that's them, is what I'm saying to you. And they'll lure you in, and it's called infiltration, bro. They'll lure you in just to get close to you. They'll wear your mama's skin, bro. Your best friend's skin, bro, just to get close to you. As soon as you slip up, they got you. Dinosaurs are actually not extinct. That's what Katt knows. He knows the inner workings of how people turned into huge comedians. And I guess,
he says Kevin is an industry plant.
No, man. I mean, Kevin is a dinosaur. And I can't, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. He's Frankie Lyman and, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
He turned down $50 million 4 times
No, he didn't.
to protect his integrity and his virgin hole.
No, he did. He did that. He did that to say that Kevin Hart took $50 million to unvirgin his hole. Oh. Now he's acting all hard. Every picture, he just short. He wasn't ready. All that. It's the same thing.
Last year on Club Shaw Shaw, Katt Williams pointed to Diddy as the one behind what really goes on in Hollywood and said that celebrities who refuse to follow the elites end up being replaced. Katt also claimed that human cloning has been going on for years behind the scenes, and some of the biggest names in the industry aren't who you believe they are. Katt even warned his audience, saying he doesn't have much time left and that the Illuminati is now watching him. Allegedly, Katt was concerned about them coming after him ever since he began speaking out.
Infiltrate the Illuminati. Find out what the fuck they got going on. Get the information. Run back to y'all. Tell y'all everything I know. That's my motherfucking job. But I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to sneak in there. Thanks to Shannon Sharp and 90 million views, I can't sneak very often. So while I was in there this last time, knowing that my last report might be my last report, I went in there and I got information for everybody. Look at my white friends. Us too? That's right, white seat.
Fans are now pointing to statements Katt made over the past year. Once you connect all the dots, what Orlando Brown said about Katt starts to make complete sense. Katt couldn't be controlled by money, and he didn't care about being blackballed by the industry. Katt first hinted at celebrities being cloned in one of his comedy specials where he said that Jamie Foxx had been cloned. This news came right around the time that Diddy's house was being raided. The moment Diddy gets raided, Jamie Foxx disappears, and when he comes back, this is what Katt said.
Televised his funeral. He ain't even dead. He was just up there. Let me be specific. Anything I say tonight is allegedly. I don't know shit. I just be up here talking. I love Jamie Foxx. Let me say that. I love Jamie Foxx. But his motherfucking clone. His clone ain't shit. His clone kept on messing up. The clone showed up with a face full of freckles. We ain't never even seen Jamie Foxx with freckles. This clone is stupid as hell. The clone didn't even have a tattoo on the back of his head. I couldn't believe it. I watched the whole thing twice. I still don't know what had happened was. That nigga started the story with, and somebody gave me an aspirin, and 21 days later, wait a minute, what? That sounds like somebody gave you a dick. You got to be more specific, sir.
Katt Williams claimed that Jamie Foxx was cloned, but the clone kept making small mistakes. According to Williams, the clone had way more freckles, something the real Jamie Foxx never had, and was missing a tattoo on the back of his head. He wrapped it up by saying the real Jamie Foxx was hosting wild private basketball parties. Jamie Foxx tried to brush this off as a joke, but Katt wasn't joking.
I was a clone. You motherfuckers thought I was a clone. Listen, I was having dinner at some eatery in Vegas, and I walk out, and my daughter's behind me, and she overheard the dude go, "That ain't that nigga. That's a clone, nigga. He got that nigga. That's a clone. That ain't Jamie Foxx. Look at that nigga, man. That ain't him. But I gotta tell you this, Atlanta, you can't clone this. I brought you too much original shit. It ain't enough clone juice in the world to clone me. I brought you this. Hey, for real though, I'll rock your
Katt explained what he meant and doubled down on his claim that Hollywood was eliminating celebrities and replacing them with clones. Once you became too powerful for the elites to control, they would remove you and swap you out with a clone.
In order for the type of ratings we need and attention to be on this thing. See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses.
But think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful. And
this isn't the first time the elites have allegedly gone after Katt Williams either. Katt has been arrested 17 different times but has never been convicted. Strangely, every time he starts speaking out, he ends up getting arrested, even though he was completely innocent and his kids were taken away from him. Timing of all this happened right after Katt turned down the $50 million.
No, this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office. Not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be
the
most terrible black dude. Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment? After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt. Now you want my babies? Yikes.
When Hollywood realized they couldn't buy or threaten their way into controlling him, they tried to bribe Katt into compliance. Katt said that Harvey Weinstein told him he could get him access to any female celebrity in Hollywood if he just agreed to what Weinstein wanted. Katt said that every time the elites try to tempt him into obedience, he simply leaves everything in God's hands. The same group of elites is controlling every major celebrity.
Stuff I wouldn't have believed until I had to get to a certain level to get to see the proof, you know what I mean? So I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. That he get whatever he want. You follow what I'm saying?
They'll figure out some way.
Right. So I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing but bitches and good business, right? Yeah. And then he offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards. Damn. And I was like, what?
Like he just jilted it. Like,
he was like, I know you.
This theory might sound unbelievable, but we've seen similar patterns happen again and again. Diddy, Can I, Jim Carrey, some of the biggest names in Hollywood and the music industry. Once they became too powerful for the elites, they were replaced. Suddenly, they didn't look the same or behave the same way anymore.
You think that there is actual cloning going on?
We know that there's actual cloning going on. The question I believe you're asking is human cloning.
Oh, yes, sir.
But let's start with the real question. The real question is cloning going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I knew it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, let's just say animal cloning.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Let's start there. That's not a myth or...
No, that's been known.
That's not a conspiracy theory that we are at the point where we have no problem cloning animals. If you lose a pet, you can send away to these companies and they will...
And remix that bitch and send it back.
Right.
Yeah.
At as close a proximity as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Right? That we know is possible.
At this point, human cloning in Hollywood isn't even being kept a secret. Cloning is reportedly being done commercially as well. Now, if all that still isn't enough proof, there have been claims that Epstein had a room on his island dedicated to harvesting stem cells for human cloning research. This was all mentioned in the recent Epstein files. Katt said that you would have to be crazy to deny that human cloning exists.
Everybody is a reflection of what they got to go through to get to where they at, right? And I just know that the people that have been in positions where they decided to do some stuff that they said they weren't going to do, they don't be the same on the other side. Nothing they can do can make them seem like what you remember them as.
Have you ever
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
Right. This is all part
You could do
of
that
the
shit in a test tube for your kid. Why wouldn't you do it? That's what I think they're going to start off with normal stuff.
It all starts off as normal stuff because it's abnormal. So the first thing you're doing is, okay, so we're in charge of, like, how could you not?
How could you not?
Is more the question to be had. And that's why in that profession, they're allowed to do certain things and then tell you they're not going to do it no more.
Yes.
That's a key component to it.
We're not going to do that anymore, Katt. We changed our mind. Yeah, if they're telling you that there's no clones, the guy telling you is probably a clone. At this point, I have no doubt that they've made human clones. They've made dog clones. You can get your dog cloned. If your dog's going to die, you can get
Katt Williams is one of the few people that Orlando Brown actually respects, and that's why he's now speaking out about what he claims to have seen and witnessed. Allegedly, Orlando noticed that Katt wasn't acting like himself and was suddenly getting close to the same people he was exposing just a few months earlier. One of those people was Kevin Hart. Katt had previously said that the elites were controlling Kevin Hart and having him wear dresses in his movies. Allegedly, Kevin Hart was also present at many of Diddy's parties.
What was done to Katt to make him do that? There's a lot of people that have no respect for the game of comedy. And there's a lot of people that, before I go deeper, I will say that it's none of my business, the personal relationships and all the stuff that was talked about. So I'm not going to talk about that. But I will talk about what I've experienced. And what I've experienced is sitting in front of Katt Williams at his own house, $3 million mansion in Malibu. And this man told Torrey Hart exactly what Kevin Hart did in order to be where he's at. Now, I don't know if it was Kevin that pissed him off. I don't know who it was that pissed him off. But I do understand that the comedy world is nothing to play with. And since, Richard Pryor left us, God rest his soul, it's more like, everybody's trying to be Richard Pryor. And I can't put myself in position to not understand why some people just don't have the kind of respect for Katt that they should have. I will also say that a lot of people know that he knows that he's helped them in a major way. Huge ways. Silently. For no recognition or none of that. It's just being, who.
After everything that happened with Kevin Hart, it doesn't make sense for him to be close with Katt. That's exactly what Orlando Brown claims he saw. The clone even tried to invite Orlando Brown to come along with him, but Orlando refused. Allegedly, Orlando Brown believes that Kevin Hart somehow compromised Katt Williams, and the person we're seeing now isn't the real Katt.
Kevin been pissing off a lot of people, comedically. You know what I'm saying? And I think that instead of trying to bash somebody that knows what they're talking about and bash somebody that has respect in the comedy world, I think that they need to look deeper into why is he letting this information go? Why is this information just now being released? Why does his chain look bigger than any rappers that I've ever seen rap? Why, out of all the comedians, does he still have a $3 million mansion in Malibu? Why out of every single comedian does he still get picked on? But still looks like he's getting a check for nothing just to sit on his couch. And everybody else look like, you know, they're has-beens. I'm just saying, like, you know, I did agree with a couple of things that was said by Aries Spears. I understand, you know, we do love drama as a nation, as a population of people, the human race, whatever the case may be, blase, blase. Yes. But my main thing is, why are you saying this? And then at the end of your rant, you sound like you're kind of jealous and you kind of mad. You sound like you got some things going on that you don't want people to know about. The skeletons in your closet. Skeletons in Cedric's closet. The skeletons in Jamie's closet. The skeletons in everybody's closet that Katt knows about. Who pissed him off? That's not, and don't just think, that's my question to you. Who pissed him off? Who do you think pissed him off?
Well, it would seem as if a lot of people pissed him off.
No, it was only one person, and they have a clan of people behind them. Yeah. It was Kevin. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it.
Bow Wow actually supported what Orlando Brown had to say and mentioned that Orlando Brown might seem crazy, but he's actually one of the smartest and most talented people in Hollywood. Orlando Brown was exposed to some of the worst individuals in Hollywood, and everything he says comes from personal experience.
Orlando Brown, when he mentioned that you guys had a relationship, he it's like, bro, come on now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that dude is hilarious. He's hilarious. Like,
but you know people believe that though, Bob.
If they believe there's something wrong with them, they crazy as hell. they done drunk 2 shades straight. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. That dude is smart and he know what he doing.
Right.
He ain't no fool. Okay. He ain't no fool. I seen an interview where he said, people pay me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when I get the bag, however much the money is determines,
what I'm
am I gonna be crazy? Because I can be Orlando and we can have a casual conversation. We can talk. I always thought he was talented.
If Katt Williams really did get replaced, he wouldn't be the first person to face this kind of fate. We've seen it happen before. Just last year, Kanye West started acting and looking completely different from his usual self. Before he disappeared, Kanye West actually said that if he ever came back looking and sounding different, it wouldn't be him. And then we saw exactly that. This version of Kanye is now doing things he once swore he would never do or say.
Kanye is a clone. I wholeheartedly believe what I'm about to say. I think there are clones, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember, he was really talking a lot. The cabal didn't like that, you know? The Illuminati, the cabal, they did not like how much he was saying. He was calling a lot of people out, and he said, if I go away and I come back and I look different, that is not me.
If I ever went anywhere, we know why.
What the happened? He was
gone.
He did
that because he wanted to gain weight. I would do that too. I'm going to do that next summer.
Look at him. Compare old photos of him. It's not the same person. It's not. Don't cancel me, Hollywood.
How do you think that these people would hide that, Kristen? If somebody tried to clone you, I would scream it from the top of the mountains like that's not Kristen.
You literally will get killed.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I believe this with every ounce in my body.
You think that you could make one of the biggest pop stars in the world just disappear and nobody would come forward?
The people who are going to come out and say something get killed.
There's weird shit happening, but some of it's...
Last year, Katt even revealed who he claimed was supplying clones to Hollywood elites. He said that Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, and Jeffrey Epstein were the ones behind it. These three were deciding which direction the industry would go and who should be replaced. Katt Williams also went on record saying that you have to give up your soul and integrity if you want to succeed in Hollywood. He said that the same elites controlling the industry are using their influence to get close to celebrities in order to infiltrate and remove them.
Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I was going to run some global power organization, I would try to co-opt every single leader, try to suck them in, offer support, bring them out to wherever the I have my big ass meetings, fly everybody in private jets to talk about the climate crisis.
All organizations have to follow the same rules.
Yeah, that's wild.
Recruitment is an important facet of all.
We have to get some young global leaders.
Well, understand this is the only reason that we can talk about these big Illuminati-like entities at this period of time. Is just because of time. Like, they aged out. Like, you can't get in new. So everybody got decrepit over there.
There's more money to be made in replacing celebrities than there is in controlling them. Britney Spears, and Diddy were some of the biggest names in the music industry. The elites who allegedly control them now have access to billions of dollars that were meant to go to the artists.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed. It goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan. Somebody, even if it looks like, yeah, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blame.
I believe that. I believe that.
Somebody benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way.
Britney Spears, the biggest female pop icon, was also rumored to be a clone after being released from her conservatorship. Before the conservatorship, Britney was smart, well-spoken, and articulate, but after she returned, it seemed like she was trying to damage her own reputation. The same person who called Kanye a clone, Kristen Cavallari, extended similar speculation to Britney Spears, suggesting that the version of the pop star the public sees might be a clone. Reportedly, Britney even reached out to her before allegedly cutting off contact.
I'm obviously on to something. I'm on to something.
Kristen Cavallari is trying to set the record straight about comments she made about Britney Spears. After the Hills alum recently shared on her Let's Be Honest podcast that she believed the Lucky singer was a clone, Kristen reveals on her November 5th episode of her podcast she received an interesting request.
I get a call from my publicist. Okay, so he calls me and he goes, guess who wants your phone number? And I went, who? Britney Spears. And I'm going, what? I'm not going to lie though. At first, because if you didn't listen to the last episode, Justin and I did, go listen. But we talked about Hollywood conspiracies and I said, my big thing was Kanye West, I think, is a clone. But also I said, Britney is not Britney.
The 37-year-old who previously met Spears at her Las Vegas residency in 2014 explains that she felt the pop legend had heard about the comments she made on her podcast and wanted to dispel the rumors.
So my initial reaction was, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was honestly like, oh my God.
Like you thought it was the Illuminati or the cabal?
Like they're on to me, man. Okay. They didn't like that podcast episode. So I'm like, give her my number. Like, great.
Kristen explains that she and her publicist were then put into a group text with Britney and her manager.
Her manager puts us on a group chat and says like, oh, ladies, like, or he called us icons, but
gotta get that
two
in there.
icons coming together, blah, blah, blah. And then Britney sent me a text and I'm not going to read it. I would love to read it. Just take my word.
Why
on
would you
that.
love to read it? Because I know why you would love to read it.
It was a bit of a roller coaster.
And it was like, no, that's Britney Spears. Nobody can fake that. That's not, or it's the Britney Spears that's put out to us right now. Because it was like one big run-on sentence.
Or it's her clone. Her clone let me know that she's not a clone. That's a red flag. Only a clone would say something.
Some investigative journalists now claim that Epstein was the one who funded the cloning research that allegedly led to Britney being replaced. Epstein, Diddy, and Weinstein were reportedly backing the stem cell research.
Epstein possibly fund research that cloned Britney Spears. So apparently with a high-quality donor egg, a bit of skin, some tending in a lab, and the willing womb of a surrogate, we can clone ourselves. And Epstein was obviously curious about this because, well, I pulled this from the Epstein files, thanks to my good buddy Webb. That definitely makes more sense as to why he had this weird baby farm going on at the Zorro Ranch. and he was keeping all these girls around so that he could impregnate them. And it kind of makes me wonder if he was trying to clone himself. Plus, he had tons of sperm in a sperm bank, and he had girls all over the world sending in their eggs to be frozen. Who knows why? Maybe for cloning. And apparently he also had a pretty intense interest in not only eugenics, but cryogenics. He also wanted the head of his member and his head to be frozen. And man, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but this music video for Break the Ice by Britney Spears definitely looks like she's running through a cryogenic cloning laboratory and then proceeds to blow up.
Whether you believe Orlando Brown is revealing something real or just adding to one of Hollywood's wildest theories, one thing is clear. Katt Williams has been speaking out against the industry for years. And now people are questioning everything surrounding him. From Jamie Foxx to Can I to the names linked to Diddy, Epstein, and Weinstein, these claims seem to get darker the deeper you look into them. So what do you think? Is Orlando Brown telling the truth, or is this just another Hollywood rumor that got out of control? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more stories the mainstream won't cover, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next.